13. By this, as explained in the previous sutras, stability and harmony of bhutas or elements within our physical body as well as outside, indriya or senses, dharma or righteousness, and lakshan or one's character are attained as the parinam or end result. The end result of all this. He is giving us the checkpoints. So don't immediately jump to the conclusion, I have reached the end result. Have you reached all these things? If you have reached, then yes. First of all, he says, stability and harmony of bhutas or elements that is within our physical body as well as outside. There is the earth element within me. Is the earth element within me is in harmony with the earth element outside? Is the wind element within me is in harmony with the wind element outside? Is the fire element within me is in harmony with the fire element outside? The water element and the space, the empty space. And when we talk about the space is expansion. There is no limitation. The sky has no limits. There are no boundaries there. And the sky starts from where our body ends. This is the limit of my body from here to infinity. This is all sky. This is all space. Do I have that kind of limitless thinking within me? Or am I limiting myself? If I am still limiting myself, then I am not in harmony. I was just reading some scientist, I forgot his name, Japanese scientist. He's an environmentalist. He has made some study. Few years back, maybe now it's more than what he told us then. He says that this earth is adding to our economy by $30 trillion every year in the form of vegetables, grains. Even if you don't do anything, you don't build anything, just live in the forest, $30 trillion are being given by this earth in the form of things which you cannot do without earth. How will you grow vegetables if you don't have earth, you don't have water? How will you grow anything? How will you eat? What will you eat? How will you build? $30 trillion, can you imagine? It's not a small amount. Even if we have got 7 billion people, please try to do some calculation per head. You are getting how many thousands dollars? 30 trillion divided by 6 billion. About $4,000-5,000, I think. That is more than what people are making in most Asian countries every year with all the technology. With all the technology that we have, that we think we are progressing, we are not. We are not. So it reminds me, when I was reading this, it reminds me of a beautiful verse from Tao Te Ching by a Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu. He says, don't spoil this nature. Don't add anything. Don't intervene. Don't intervene. The nature is the greatest of all. It provides you with everything. Can you imagine what we have done to our earth? In the name of progress, many people in Asia, their total income per year is $1,600 per year. And the earth is supporting you with $5,000-6,000 a year. So all these extras that we have added have not really contributed to our happiness. This is what Patanjali is trying to say. Once you know, once you are a yogi, you understand all these points. You understand all these points that you have made a joke of yourself. So please, in the school, our children, that's why I'm so much against building any extra structure. We should have some space where they can grow something. Now with the hydroponic, you can grow vegetables, you can grow herbs. Grow herbs, it has more value. We need herbs as supplements instead of buying supplements outside. You can grow herbs. So even if we have a little space, 300-400 meters space, square meters, we still can grow things. We just have to learn. Now their technology is possible. Their technology is good. Where you can add some extra value. We can be very rich. If there is no vegetable, no vegetation, what will you eat? I was just reading and I was astonished because politicians, they don't normally discuss these things. The water level all over India is going down. Water level all over India. Now 30-40%, I don't know how many percent of India is anyway. They are already having shortage of water. But even in the big cities, like Bangalore, like Mumbai, the water level has gone down and the prediction is within few years, people will have a serious shortage of water. They will have a very serious shortage. With 1.4 billion people, 1.3 billion people, I don't know how much, racing with China. Now China has got a big land. India is smaller. And no water. What will you do? What will you do? You can be progressing. Your GDP can go, your technology, or anything. The pictures that you see can be very good, but if you know the truth, it is gloomy. What has happened with all the yoga happening in India? They are not yogis. They have managed to spoil their country. What can you possibly learn from them? What can you possibly learn from them? What can you possibly learn from me, from us, if we are spoiling our earth also? And so be a yogi. Become contributor. Thousands of years ago, the Buddha, also the Jain master, Mahavir, both of them, they repeated the same thing. And the old traditions of Indonesia, the Sundanese, they said the same thing, Javanese, Balinese. The basic teaching given to the children, every 2 years, 3 years, sometimes they put 5 years, but 5 years is the minimum. Every 5 years, you must plant a tree, a big tree. Don't just take from this earth. Give something in return. Plant trees. And this was religion. Religion was not mumbo jumbo, going to places of worship and doing some mantras. No. Religion was worshipping the trees, worshipping the streams, worshipping Mother Earth. But now, since we think that God is abstract, and because God is abstract, you can do anything with this world. And it is seldom in any religion you have a name for God, God who speaks. It is always God who listens. It is very easy for us. When God is listening, it's good. But when He starts to speak, then it's dangerous. And therefore, most of the religions, they said, no, okay, He last spoke so many thousand years ago. Now He is no longer speaking. He spoke to so-and-so prophet, He spoke to so-and-so avatar, He spoke to so-and-so Buddha, now no more. Because they know, if God is speaking today, He will take you out from your religious institutions and make you plant trees first. Stop all your mantras, stop all your chanting, plant trees first. We have somehow managed to keep these trees here. We are struggling, but we have somehow managed to keep these trees. All the huge trees are there. We managed to keep the contour of this. When we started building this, we made sure that we did not do anything with the contour. So the height of the land there is higher than here. It is lower, but we wanted to keep it that way. Try to do that. This place, my vision of this place is whether I'm alive or I'm dead, when you walk into this place or any of our ashram in Jakarta, anywhere, wherever you go to this ashram, let the walls of this ashram talk to you, speak to you. Let them inspire you. I'm too lazy to speak actually. If once you can start listening to the walls and to the pillars here, then I don't have to speak. You come here and you feel it's beautiful and you beautify your life, you're inspired to beautify your life, then that's it. That's it. Yoga is not about standing on your head. Yoga is about practicing the yogic way of life. So the basic thing is to be in harmony with the elements outside, elements inside, and the indriyas, the senses. Here it is very important that you are not oppressing, you are not suppressing your senses, but in harmony. In harmony. What is in harmony? Harmony is a big thing. Because your tongue may tell you one more piece of cake is all right, but your body may tell you no. In harmony means body, tongue, everything have to be in harmony. You have to know when to stop, when to eat, how much to eat. This is what he is saying. He is not talking about suppressing, no. And then dharma or righteousness. Now what is dharma? Dharma is the law of nature. Dharma is the very quality of these various elements in nature. What is the dharma of water? The dharma of water is to give life. It is wet. The wetness of water is the characteristic lakshan of water. Fire. To heat is the dharma of fire. To help us in getting some energy, that is the character of fire, and goes on. All the 5 basic elements. They are truthful to their nature. We were discussing this, I think even last week or last Thursday maybe. That fire cannot change its character to become water. It doesn't have to change. Let water be water, let fire be fire. They don't have to change their characters. They remain true to their character and they support life. Now, are we remaining true to our character as human beings? We have to think about it, ponder about it. I keep telling you, last time we used to have people wasting food. Take food, then they don't eat, they waste. So we kept a picture in ashram Jakarta. It's still there. This time I went, made sure the picture is still there, of a very poor old man who has got a small plate with few grains of rice and is eating it with, so much passion. So before dumping the food into the waste basket, look at the picture. Just take as much as you can eat. My master would always remind us, you must keep 30% of your stomach empty. 30% with solid food, 30% with water, and about 30% empty. 35%, 33%. So 1/3 with solid food, 1/3 with watery food, that can be soup, water, whatever, liquids, and then 30% should be empty. So these foods, they can be processed. You know, you have food processor. If you fill the food processor with all food, it won't process. The machine will break. You have to keep some space empty so that it processes. Or you make a juice, make juicer. If you fill the whole juicer, it won't take much time to break. So you have to keep something empty so that can process. This is what he is trying to say.